What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to take a good first look here at the next evolution in battle belt or war belt, gun belt technology here from HRT Tactical. And this is going to be the new offering from them in your first line, which is your belt line, in the way of the ARC belt. The HRT Tactical ARC belt is a clean, lightweight design that gives you limitless adaptable options, rigidity, and strength like few others in the market today can offer. This is not just another standard MOLLE battle belt, and neither are the magazine pouches that go along with the ARC belt system. So this belt is definitely something very new and adaptive from HRT Tactical. Now, if you've never seen their stuff before, I've done some reviews on their plate carriers and things like that. They are all about modularity, weight savings, and keeping things tight to your body. And in this case, very thin and tight to your body in the way of that ARC belt. But before we get into all the good stuff on the ARC belt, we have to pay the bills here real quick with the help of Hidden Hybrid Holsters. Longtime supporter of the channel. They make those sweet hybrid holsters, that suede backed Amish leather with that Kydex front that's going to keep its form for years and give you years of service use for your pistol, whether you're carrying polymer striker fired stuff or whether you are carrying that 1911 that needs some leather love, or whether you just like that suede rubbing up against your skin. Check out Hidden Hybrid. They make a ton of different stuff, from holsters, mag pouches, all the way down to a holster for your Tabasco sauce. Well, what makes the HRT ARC belt a little bit different than everything that's already out there in the way of battle belts, war belts, or gun belts in the market today? Now, if you haven't noticed that gray, flexible, kind of carbon fiber looking stuff that's been showing up on different pieces of tactical gear in the world, it is called Tegris, and it really looks like kind of like carbon fiber. Now, if you don't know exactly what Tegris is, neither do I, because I'm not a thermoplastic composite engineer, but from the company that designed it, here's what they say. It's a thermoplastic composite fabric. It's designed for heavy duty, often dangerous use. It's a breakthrough material, provides excellent protection against fragmentation, projectile, blast threats, while offering a lighter total weight than other traditional thermoplastic and composite designs. Don't know if any of that is true, but that is from the company that designed Tegris. So to kind of condense that into common language, you can understand, really think about this in the way of like a flexible carbon fiber that's hydrophobic, which means it's not going to attract water or absorb water. It's strong as hell, rigid as hell, light as hell, and is very durable. Oh, make sure you stick around for the whole video, because I'm going to tell you guys how you can save 20% on the ARC belt and pistol pouches and everything, should you be interested in one once we start talking about the price. All right, so Tegris, now you know kind of what that stuff is, right? Like a flexible carbon fiber, think about it that way. Why would we want to make a belt out of this, and why did HRT go the route of a full Tegris belt instead of something like other companies have done where they just kind of weave Tegris into a standard MOLLE traditional nylon belt or webbing belt? Well, there are a couple of really standout reasons. One, it is super durable and rigid, and it's like the thickness of a dime. I mean, like a dime that you would use to make change at a store, not a dime bag that you would like smoke something of. So it is very thin, yet extremely strong and durable, right up there next to your MOLLE webbing, your scuba webbing, with being like probably 1/3 or 1/4 the thickness of those standard materials. It's moldable, it's durable, and the strength capacity of it, I think, is beyond even scuba webbing, if I'm not right by some of the research I saw on it. You can check me on that, but basically it is really tough stuff. And one of the ultimate reasons is it's very lightweight. So anytime you can shave weight off yourself in a tactical environment or when wearing tactical gear, because ounces make pounds. If you don't believe me, just let your wife or your girlfriend keep eating all the bonbons and you'll figure out what happens. But when you're wearing all that gear and you start loading up the mags and the equipment and all the stuff you have to carry on you, ounces really do make pounds. So if you can take ounces off here and ounces off there, that becomes pounds, and you become much more versatile, much more mobile, and much faster in whatever environment you are operating in. So what makes this a little different, and how did HRT kind of go about this? One of the main things is going to be, I'm going to use their underbelt here, but you'll kind of see that there is a natural curvature in this belt right here. Now, the reason for that is if you pull out one of your old belts you've been wearing, you might start to see that curve. So if your body is naturally going to bend that material, why not start with a curve in that belt from the beginning? And we'll talk more about the underbelt here in a minute. But that curve is going to allow it to naturally shape to your body, which is going to help you naturally carry that load and help the belt bear the load of that more than just a standard belt. And one of the biggest differences obviously is going to be that it's fully Tegris and it has these slide-on MOLLE panels that go over it. Now they call this their adaptable and like endless MOLLE technology. Basically you can move that stuff anywhere around, whether it's left-handed, right-handed. And then the Tegris belt itself, you can put just MOLLE attachments directly on it. There are going to be natural attachment holes all the way around those panels, so you can stick pass-through items on there, whether you're tying something off or whether you're using a carabiner on there. You can push them right through there, and then you can still use your typical slide options as well. You're going to get the option to have a standard G-hook for your main belt attachment, or you can upgrade and go with a Cobra buckle, much like I did. I'm a huge fan of Cobra buckles. I find them quick, easy, and just I like the look of them. And what that design is going to do for you is give you a set it and forget it. So you're basically going to be able to fit this thing to your body one time, and unless you pack on some tactical pounds out there, you're never really going to have to readjust that, and that Cobra buckle is just going to stay where it is. You'll have that standard inner male Velcro on there, or the hook version of it, so you can use your existing underbelt, or you can buy the underbelt that HRT offers. And one of the biggest design features and advantages, since it's made out of Tegris, it is super thin, yet very strong and very rigid. That's going to help keep your first line, which is also known as your belt line, very, very sleek and slim. So as you start adding stuff on you, whether it's plate carriers and pouches and belts, you begin to get wider and thicker, which does not help you in any environment you are trying to get into, whether it's indoors, whether you're getting into an armored vehicle or just a regular vehicle. The thinner you can stay, the better off you're going to be. All the material on there, whether it's these slide over panels or the pistol rifle pouches, are going to be made of a dual laminated 500 denier Cordura. Extremely strong stuff, and it's basically going to make it a 1000 level Cordura. Why they did the lamination, I don't quite know. All I know, definitely cool, sleek, all laser cut, and it's going to do everything you need it to do. On the magazine inserts, you're going to have a polymer insert, which is going to clasp onto the magazines and give a really good level of retention. And that stuff is going to have a little bit better of a heat rating as compared to Kydex inserts. So in Arizona, that's a big deal, because if you leave your kit in the car in the summer and it's Kydex, it's literally going to remold itself. And when it comes to your belt attachment, whether it's the G-hook or the Cobra buckle, that's going to be your mil-spec webbing. It's going to tuck back into the belt itself for a very sleek and designed, very snag-free. So no worries about that stuff. And then finally, it's covered by that HRT lifetime warranty, which is also one of the things they are very well known for. All right, so you have a really good idea now what this thing is about, how it's made, the materials, the Tegris, all that good stuff. Let's talk about my range experience. So I've had this thing for a couple of weeks. I've only had a chance to get it out a few times, and I don't have all of the gear for it yet. As you can see, I've only got a couple of rifle, I got 3 pistol pouches, a holster. Now, I threw all of this stuff on here because I wanted to get as much weight with everything loaded on here as possible, because my med kit and a few other things just aren't here yet. So I haven't been able to weight the belt down all the way that I want it to really feel that load bearing capacity that it has. I will say up front, I dig the belt, and it rides completely different than other belts I've worn before. Since that Tegris material is kind of already molded to your hip line and it is so stiff and solid, it almost feels like it's taking a lot of the weight off your waistline. I don't notice any of the sag that you start to get. Once your belt's a couple of years old, you'll start to notice that maybe your holster side is sagging or it's getting a little bit loose in that area. Probably not going to happen with this material, just how it's made. Obviously time will tell, but according to the material manufacturer and things I've seen out online, this stuff is not going to get bended or get floppy or kind of get those, you know, depressions where your magazine pouches are hanging or your belt attachments are hanging on there. So I guess to kind of wrap that up, it's super comfortable. It feels lighter not only holding it, but it feels lighter when it's on your waistline, when you've got 3 pistol mags of 9, a couple rifle magazines and they're fully loaded, and then your holster and your pistol in it. It just has a better overall feel, like the belt is taking the load, not your waistline. So overall first impressions of it are very high. So what about the cost factor? Since this is that new, it's nice, it's cool, and usually things like that are super expensive. Well, the cost on this thing is not going to give you sticker shock at all. So for the Tegris belt, the 2 lines of attachment, and the standard G-hook, you're looking at 124 bucks. That is not bad at all, considering some of the tactical belts I have were $180 for just the MOLLE belt itself. Not bad. You want to upgrade to a Cobra buckle, 25 bucks. If you need that underbelt like I showed a little bit earlier, that's another $25. But again, it will work with your standard female Velcro hook and loop style belt. If you have one of those already, it's going to fit on there just fine. But if you don't have one, they have an option for you. It's a G-hook style design, and it's gonna work great with this, should you be into the G-hook thing. Now, when it comes to the magazine pouches for the pistol and the rifle, these are the only things that they specifically offer right now. You're looking at like, I think $16.95 for the pistols, and then I think $22.95 for the rifle. Pretty much right in line with just about everything else out on the market. And then you can go with whatever strap you want, or you can go with their Tegris clips. I suggest the Tegris clips they have. They're very easy to put on, and they are super rigid. They keep the pistol pouches and magazine pouches exactly where you want them. They don't kind of slide around or have a lot of movement like this traditional malice clips or other things like that. So price-wise, like I said, I don't think you're gonna have any sticker shock there for the basic belt or even kitting the belt out, should you go with HRT tactical pouches or another company. So what's my overall feedback for it? Is there anything I would change? Is there something I don't like? Because this ain't no puff piece, right? There's always some form of feedback, especially with a new piece of gear. One of the things that I noticed right away is there's a big open back on it, right? So it's just the Tegris material back here, because when you order the belt, you get two panels, the one left and the one right panel. So I kind of looked at that, thought that was odd, and I gave that feedback to them, and they pretty much told me, well, we kind of thought that might be something. We didn't ever have problems with it, but we're already working on an additional back panel so you can have a fully wrapped and kind of clean and complete design. Now, the reasons I brought that up was, imagine wearing this in like an armored vehicle or a SWAT vehicle or something. You don't have that additional Velcro in the back here to grab onto your underbelt. You could catch that on something that could maybe ride your belt up. Now, they've tested it in those environments and they didn't run into those issues, but they kind of had the same opinion I did. And once we talked about it, they just started working on a design to just wrap the whole belt. Now, the only other real feedback that I had to do with the underbelt. Now, it is a G-hook design. If you don't know what a G-hook is, it's that. Very simple, connects to just a standard loop right there on that G-hook. But for me, I just really like the standard kind of Velcro wraparound belt. You know, I don't prefer to have another buckle under a buckle like this, and then you buckle your overbelt on it. That's just kind of a me thing, and it's a little bit kind of wide right here, and the Velcro just doesn't go all the way up. It matches the Velcro on the panels, but for me, I like that 1.5 inch, or if I'm gonna have like a 175 or even like a, you know, a larger kind of underbelt, I just like the wraparound style. And I know that's really personal preference. I know a lot of people love the G-hook style underbelt. Maybe that's a me thing, but it's just something that I thought of. And though HRT is a channel sponsor, right? Nobody gets a free pass here. Even the channel sponsors, right? But knowing HRT, they want that feedback. And the reason they want that feedback is everybody at HRT is an end user of the product, and they understand that the end users of the product are the ones who are going to give you probably the best feedback on how to make it better. They also understand that it's their product and they're very close to it. So they need other people like me and you to provide quality feedback so they can make things better. So it's not going to hurt their feelings at all. The fact that they've actually taken customer feedback before and improved designs just shows that they're willing to listen. It also shows that they understand that other people out there use this gear in real life and want to make it the best possible that they can. All right, so that is everything for the belt. Now, remember when I said I was going to tell you how to save 20%? No code needed. Go over, check out HRT, and you're going to get 20% off your order on pretty much, I think, everything they offer right now. So if you need a plate carrier, you get a plate carrier. If you need a belt, you get a belt, pouches, all that stuff. It's 20% off your entire order. I don't think there's a limit, so I don't know, run the card up and see how much money you can get off. And let them know in the comments section on their ordering website when you do place an order, if you do, if you like the stuff, that I sent you over there. I don't get any commissions from sales. They are a channel sponsor, but they are the brand of gear that I use out there for my personal plate carriers, both at work and at home. All right, so make sure you get subbed up. Leave me a comment down below on what your thoughts are on this new design and style of belt. And let me know if you have plans on buying any new tactical gear before the end of the year. Get out on the range, have some fun. Remember, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, even if it's just a belt. I'll see you guys on the next one.